Just a second. Okay. So, a very good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are around the globe, and welcome to the first ever kind of a meeting where we have several DPRMs across the world from different time zone, and then we have few members directly being requested to attend from PR team of Toastmasters International, and the introduction for them will be formally handled by my co-host. So I welcome all the members who are present here for this meeting, and I can say with certitude that today you will learn something that is beyond words to imagine, because we have the best person in the room to train you, to guide you, to answer all your questions. And before moving ahead, I have a very special person in the room. Can I request my co-host to please mute everyone, and please take the rights, if possible, to unmute, because this is creating a disturbance.
Yes, I will give you a co-host, Aish, so you can take it up.
You just mute everyone once, just creating a disturbance.
Thank you.
Is it done? Okay. Just a second. Okay. Now we have someone in the room who has been a past district director for District 124, someone who has been instrumental in making sure that we form our own district, which is Northeast, North, Bangladesh, and Bhutan part of the globe. Someone who has opened 65 clubs when he was the club growth director. Someone who was the first district director of a newly formed district, District 124. Someone who is as famous as Barack Obama or Shah Rukh Khan in the world, especially in the world of Toastmasters, that person. Someone who is an author and a best-selling one and holds a Limca Book of Record. Someone who is so famous in IBM that even the CEO would like to interact with him every week for his work. Someone is very famous in the world of Toastmasters, and we all know him as one of the brand ambassadors of Toastmasters too. Someone who has sponsored more than 100 members, someone who has opened more than 100 clubs in all total from his division director term or area director. On being a non-DO also, he has opened several clubs. So I think this person deserves a special recognition in this meeting. So with a round of applause, please acknowledge the presence of one and only distinguished Toastmaster 4 times, Ayan Pal. Can he be spotlighted once? Yes. And we are glad that you are here, that you have joined us. And we hope that our members will learn a lot through the PR team members of Toastmasters International and as well as from your guidance. So thank you for joining. Thank you for taking out time for us. And with this, let me hand over the stage to my co-host and the one who has collaborated with our district to make sure that we do this massive event. So the next person who is coming up on stage is someone who is a DPRM, of course, we know is a DPRM of 125. Someone who has been in Toastmaster for 6 years, and someone who has served as the area director and recipient of the area director of the year award. Someone who has served as a division director, someone who has been in the team of PR since 6 years, and now finally he is the DPRM. So he's one of the most dedicated Toastmasters from 125. So let us welcome none other than distinguished Toastmaster Abhilash with a huge round of applause. Over to you, Abhilash.
Thanks a lot, Aish, for that wonderful, exciting opening. And I am so happy and honored to be part of this session. I don't know when we will be seeing like 3, 4 present and past district directors' presence in this session. I really like to acknowledge and call out distinguished Toastmaster Milind Patwardhan, current District Director, District 125, Program Quality Director Sushil Pawar, and our Club Growth Director Colonel Uday Jagavkar. Thanks for joining us today. Additionally, we have District Director of District 126, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri. Thanks a lot for joining us today. And of course, the Ian Paul, the District Toastmaster and past District Director of District 124. Thanks a lot for joining. Before proceeding further, I would like few words which will encourage the Toastmasters who's going to hear this recording from the district director's presence here. We'll start with the past district director, distinguished Toastmaster Ian Paul. Less 30 seconds I will take. Yes, okay.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. So first of all, I'm so glad that Jessica and Kristin are here. They are some of the best that we have. And I know you have a lot of things to learn. In my personal opinion, PR is extremely important, which is why technically there is no budget for PR, which also means that there is no end to how much PR is too much PR and how much PR is too little. I really hope you get to find out how you can use not only internal but also external PR to truly become brand ambassadors of this amazing organization, wherein the more you give, the more you will return. And finally, my favorite quote of Toastmasters was used by the first international woman president. And I know we are very close to celebrating Women's Day. So it was used by Helen Blanchard, and I'm going to repeat that. When you get out of Toastmasters, all there is to get out of Toastmasters, you will never get out of Toastmasters. But if you are one such recipient, go out there and talk about what you got out of Toastmasters. So I'm hoping PR can help you do that. And all the best to all of you. I know we are going to do something truly incredible and interesting and exciting today. So all the best and back to the organizers.
Thanks a lot, DTM Ironfall, for this encouraging words. I will hand over to our district director, DTM Milind, quickly.
So, good evening, good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Kristin. I hope things are good at your end. Yeah, we are at a very critical juncture in our district journey. We are on 5th, 6th, or 7th of March today. And as district directors, we all are seized of various issues. Though Mayuri is smiling, I know what's going on in her mind. The other two district directors, if they are missing for some good reason, but they are, I'm sure, busy doing their best to meet the district mission. So without much ado, thank you very much, Abhilash, and thank you, Ayush, Annish, Arun, for this wonderful collaboration. This really goes to show the spirit of Toastmasters that we will be districts, but that is only for administrative reasons. We all have a common goal, we all have a common vision. And I thank once again the team from Toastmasters International for sparing time today morning to be with us. And I'm looking forward to these discussions. Abhilash, back to you.
Thank you, Milind. Finally, District 126 District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, a few words from you, then we'll jump into the discussion. Yes.
Thank you so much. So I past District Director Ayan and then Milind right now have already spoken about how much we look forward to it and how much we appreciate the effort that has been gone into collaborating and getting this here. Something very unique and very rightly mentioned by Ayush in the beginning. And for my part, I was not someone who came from PR, but when I was serving as the District Public Relations Manager 2 years back, I was hooked. And I remember the number of mails that I must have sent to Jessica and the responses that I kept receiving from her. And it's lovely to see you, Jessica, Kristin here. It is something that I really look forward to. And thanks to the collaborators over here. Let's get going. And I wish the very best to everyone here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Mayuri, for that encouraging words. Let's jump into this discussion, which we are holding for quite some time. And let's quickly introduce the people who already got introduced by all the district directors. Thanks a lot, Kristin and Jessica, for taking your time on this early morning of yours and joining for this session. And I hope I didn't bombard you with more emails, sending more reminders, but still, I hope I was glad to hook you up into this session. And I welcome you all on behalf of this PR Power Play PR Night initiative, the collaboration between District 125 and District 124.
Thank you.
We have two more DPRMs with us who is going to be the panel joining along with you. One is the PR manager of District 120, Toastmaster Arun Kumar. Arun Kumar is a former engineer by profession, and he works with Logitech. He's an electrical engineer, 14 years of expertise in his career, past division director in District 120, and he's a district finalist in table topics. Thanks a lot, Arun, for your time and joining us today. Welcome to the session. And next is the district public relationship manager of District 126, distinguished Toastmaster Annish. Annish is currently working with Cognizant as a technical lead, and he's a member of Vijayawada Toastmasters, and he served multiple XCOM roles from his club level, and he was the area director when it was a larger district of District 98, and he has served area also, and it has become president distinguished area, and he was also president distinguished division director, and currently working as a technical lead with Cognizant. Welcome and thanks for your time, distinguished Toastmaster Annish.
Thank you so much, Abhilash. Happy to be here.
So now we are in the crucial juncture, as already mentioned. Annuals are going to start. PR is going to be the very crucial factor in getting more members renewed or getting members retained.
Toastmaster Abhishek Das, could you please put yourself on mute?
Thank you, Virendra. Yes, I will change the settings. Just give me a second because I forgot to do that. Everyone who's joining is getting. Okay, cool. Now we have all get this settled. So, starting with some questions which I have sent to the team already, or we have received from the attendees. Some I will start with the DPRMs present in the room, like with to Arun or Annish, you can start with some wonderful PR practice at this crucial juncture, which is going to help and retain the membership or bring in more members and put the effort to renew current members also. So I would like to start with Arun. You can share from your point of view how you guys are doing in District 120. That is going to give us a very new perspective on this. Okay, I will unmute you. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Abhilash. I mean, that's the most important question as on day to day, right? Like we are in the renewal seasons, but according to me, this is something that we should not probably be doing at this juncture of time, but it's more like a triangle that I always keep talking when it comes to renewals or seasons. It's a golden triangle that I always believe in is something that can get the renewals seamless. So you need to have any club with a good VPE, VPM, and VPPR who works closely with each other, who understands the members' needs. And say, for example, the VP Education knows what the member needs. They keep pushing the members to achieve the goals that they want to achieve. And VP PR helps in recognizing whenever they achieve something. And the VP membership is someone who also ensures that if there is any engagement missing, they keep pushing the members to come to the club again and ensure that if all of these three people work together closely, I think we know exactly what kind of PR mechanism is needed for a specific club. There is no one single medicine that can solve for every single club. But according to the club where we have issues, we need to identify what's the right solution that we can apply. And if we can apply, I think we will be able to solve these renewal issues. But one or two tips that I can tell with respect to how we can go about seeing these renewals is starting with why my campaign that TI recommends, why some members are renewing for 20 years, 15 years when they have achieved everything. That's something that can be highlighted. And we can also talk a little bit about why a member wants to be part of Toastmasters, irrespective of the leadership positions that they have attained, and irrespective of the championship that they have won, why they still continue. So those great stories can be one of the best selling points as far as renewals is concerned, to make people that one day they can also become like such stalwarts or spotlighted people in the district. So that's my opinion on how we can look after the renewals.
Thank you, Arun, Kumar, for such wonderful points. And I will now, like Aish, you can continue with this if you have any questions to start.
Thank you, Abhilash, and thank you, Arun, for the wonderful points. Just to add on that, as a DPRM, I'm doing 3 initiatives for the renewal. So one initiative is like quotation, like why quit? Your growth should not stop. You remember your first speech that you nailed. It's time to deliver one more speech. Some quotation like this, 10 posters, 10 days. Then I'm doing one more is my why, my story. So I'm asking members why you want to renew. So from 1st of March to 31st of March, every day one poster will go from members. That will go in all the groups. Members will connect more with the members, apart from the district officers. And one more biggest initiative that has been a very big hit in my district is called Unstoppable Journeys. So members who have been the part of Toastmasters for 10 years or more than a year, I'm asking for their testimonial, and it is going as a blockbuster event in the entire district. When somebody sees this member is a member of Toastmasters since 15 years, and what do they learn? It's written there. And they've given a title to their journey of 15 years. So that initiative is actually working, and members are connecting a lot. So this is how we can do it. And one more thing we can do is we can ask the club to create 3 flyers for renewals, the best flyers, and we'll acknowledge the best flyers created by top 3 clubs. So like this, at least they'll create some flyers and share the information with their members. So this is what I have done as a DPRM. With this, back to you, Avinash.
Thank you, Ayush, for such insightful inputs. I will now proceed to Jessica, since she's the PR team member of the marketing team, Toastmasters International. Since the talk about posters or flyers came in, we had this Canva templates from TI, which was distributed, in a PDF format. Can we have that again circulated? Because what we recently observed is those templates are modified, or it has been reused by other members. So the actual template is gone. So I sincerely request, or you can also add few more points from your end, how we can push the renewals through PR. Over to you, Jessica.
Thank you. And it's really nice to see so many of your faces again. For those of you that I've had the privilege of working with before. The Canva templates, yes, there are some issues with them right now. It seems that when we tried to reshare them, they were shared in a way that wasn't locking the templates. And so that's the reason that you're seeing that a lot of those Canva templates are actually compromised right now and have been changed from the actual original template to whatever people have done in their own designs with them. We are aware of the issue, and our design team is in the process of working on correcting those templates and locking them so that they aren't compromised. It's going to take a few weeks, unfortunately, for us to be able to identify all of the templates that have been compromised and then redesign them, get them back to their original state. But it is something we are aware of and are working on to make sure that you guys are still able to use those as resources.
We are looking forward for it, because last time when it was shared, it was really helpful for us to, add, and it was very quick. We don't need to sit and bug our mind. It is there already. You can take it up and move further. So with that continuation, before proceeding further, I like to acknowledge the presence of District Director, District 120, Distinguished Toastmaster Mohapatra in the room. Thanks a lot for joining. Yeah, with all these things going on, next thing will come is the brand compliance, when the posters, flyers, and all these things. And recently, we have wonderful new brand guideline document has been uploaded, and it's really fantastic. And I have few follow-up questions for that. I would request Kristin to answer. When the new PDF was about to share just few months before, we saw this white and black color also. This was part of the primary colors. And in the current manual, it is mentioned we can use white and black. And I really like to like to hear. We know from around royal blue and cool gray are the brand colors, but how much of black can be in a poster, or how much black is good? Because with that being added in the manual, people get go crazy with the black. So just want to highlight this, and I would like to hear from Kristin on this.
And I'm happy to answer that, but Jessica is really our brand expert, so I'm actually going to kick it back over to her. She eats and she breathes our brand, so I want her expertise on this.
Thank you, Kristin. The colors white and black have always been a part of the template for Toastmasters. However, the last couple of versions of our brand manual kind of took them away as an understanding. So what we did is we reintroduced those, so it was very clear to our members that white and black are both colors that can be used in our palette. Because they're neutral colors, you can use either black or white for a background color. The most important thing I think that you should think about and pay attention to is the contrast that you're using, right? So you don't want to use like light colored text on top of a light colored background, and conversely, dark colored text on a dark colored background. One of the things that Toastmasters has been really focusing on is making sure that we're making our materials accessible to everybody. And what you'll find a lot of times is that when you have colors without high contrast, you are making it difficult for people with vision impairments to be able to really see that content well. So those are some of the things to think about when you're using different colors in the templates or in your designs, rather, because the colors, the primary colors in our palette, the maroon and the blue, are both darker colors. Most of the time, you're going to want that lighter background. So it's really in how you're designing it and making sure that you're being cognizant of how your design looks to be able to be readable to anybody. I hope that helps.
Yes, exactly. Thanks a lot for clearing that out, because whenever such things happen, will be back and forth discussion between the person who created and as it is not brand compliant. Blah, blah, blah. A lot of things will happen when it comes to such posters. And thanks a lot for clearing this, Jessica. So coming back to Kristin, so there are certain photos which we have seen with in the brand manual, which can be used for multiple posters. and I think these photos need some renovation. It's been quite a long time we are seeing the same faces. But I will be honest with you, the base camp upgrade happened. There are beautiful, wonderful photos that has been added to the projects as we go through. So is it possible to get such photos into the repository or any other new things which you think can be added to this?
There is a number of photos that we have updated actually recently available online, and I can get that link to everyone. But some of the photos that we use are copyrighted and we have restrictions on how they can be used. And because of that, we want to avoid any infringement and get ourselves or clubs or districts into trouble. So we do limit what we can use based off of how that asset was created and what the rights are around that.
Okay, so maybe you can help us to share non-copyrighted photos into on the existing repository, so that will be helpful for seeing some fresh faces in the poster. That's the reason I was asking this question. Thank you, Kristin. So that is one wonderful I don't know, it's a disclaimer at the last page of brand manual. There are times when Toastmasters International do some testing related to color combinations or any other things. So can you help the audience to understand about that particular comment at the last page? So because sometimes we will see some different color combination comes in one or two documents, and then it will be all across. It will be equally as per the brand guidelines in different documents. So, but this time we see this disclaimer at the last page of brand manual. So can you share us few insights on this?
I'll let Jessica take this one as well.
Sure, Jessica, please go ahead.
Thank you, Kristin. Yes, so you're absolutely correct. We do engage in a lot of testing. We also, as world headquarters, we have a bit more leeway than our districts and our clubs do in the way that they present the brand. And it's not always testing. Some of it is intentional on our part because we've got things like convention, for instance, or yesterday we held a webinar with our executive committee, the women on our executive committee for International Women's Day. Some of these products, some of these things require a different look at the world headquarters level to delineate them from our other products or from our core product. And so you will see different colors. I noticed in the chat there was a comment about seeing green and orange in some of our social media posts. What I can tell you is that World Headquarters is very intentional in how we are looking at and bringing the brand to the whole world, right? And we will use different colors at times. The colors, the greens and the oranges, and some of the things that you see in social media are actually colors that are part of our what is the word I'm looking for? Our infographic template. And so there's still colors that are part of the brand, but they're used in a different way. We don't roll those out wider for the purpose of marketing because we want to make sure that as you're marketing and you are engaging prospective members, that they are engaged with our core brand. So that is one of the reasons that you'll see different colors in some of the things that World Headquarters puts out. Similarly, when we do our international convention each year, we create an entirely different theme every year for that, as most organizations do when they're holding a convention. And that's kind of an example of where you'll see those differences happen. Another one is in our magazine. You'll see a lot of different things happen that we don't roll out to members at different levels of the organization to use in their marketing efforts. Now, what we have done that I think is something that especially our club level leaders will look forward to is we've really relaxed our guidelines on how to leverage club meeting themes. some of you may remember in the past that we were very rigid about how you could express those club meeting themes. And we said you can only stick to the brand template. You can only stick to these things. Don't show us a picture of toast or don't show us a picture. And we don't want to do that for our marketing efforts. But a club meeting theme is a very different thing. And as president of our own club, I can tell you that seeing firsthand how we're trying to express that and get people to come to those meetings, engage at that level, is a little bit of a different thing than a marketing effort. So you're going to see more flexibility there, where if your club theme is a holiday, for instance, that club can make that flyer express that holiday and bring that forward. But for bigger marketing efforts, to draw in prospective members, we really want to make sure that we are using those core brand elements that make a prospective member know that this is Toastmasters and recognize that no matter where they are in the world.
Exactly. So when it comes to certain team level meetings or at club level, we are okay to explore such opportunities. But when it goes to a bigger space, bigger stage, definitely there is no compromise in the brand guidelines or brand values. Thanks a lot, Jessica, for putting it input. So now we are close to 30 minutes into the session and quite serious discussions are happening. This is the time to take a good photograph of entire session. Let's put a smile on everyone's face. I request everyone to turn on your video so I can capture this wonderful moment and I can carry it across the district. Let's put that smile and turn on the camera as much. If you are having your dinner or driving, it's fine. Just take a quick few seconds. We will do this quick snap. Thanks a lot, everyone who are turning on the video. Wonderful to see a lot of smiling faces. I hope it's all going good with these discussions. Some wonderful points we are also gaining out of this. And there are 2 pages. Just give me a second. I will in the second page. Yes. So with this moment, I would like anyone from the audience or anyone who have any questions to be asked for the panel before proceeding further. Please go ahead. I'll give you a few seconds. If you want to ask a question, you can raise your hand. I can unmute you and we can go further in the discussion. Okay, this is the time to ask the question to the Toastmasters International headquarters themselves are here. Yes. Okay, yeah, we have a district director of District 120, Kristin, ATM. Go ahead. Yes.
Thank you so much for putting this together. The team is appreciated and good to see all the DPRMs coming together and exploring and learning a lot of things along with the World Headquarters team. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Kristin, for that. I always, think I'm basically a PR guy. I love PR and I've created probably thousands of flyers, videos, pre-Canva era, right? Canva is something that's going. Something that I was always curious and have always been a big fan of, the brand guidelines. Could be silly question, but Jessica, Kristin, if you could let us know why the red and callouts. There was something called callouts in the brand manual. Are there any reasons why these were removed?
I couldn't find my mute. Can you repeat that question for me, please? I'm
Sure.
trying to think of what was removed.
Yeah. So sorry about that. So I remember the along with the maroon and royal blue, there was also red color in the brand manual, and the strength that we used to call the callouts. I'm asking because now Canva gives us a lot of design values. I'm talking about a pre-Canva era where these callouts helped us do a lot of things. Are there any reasons or what goes into the World Headquarters marketing team saying, okay, let's remove these callouts in red color? Any reasons?
Right. So it's actually a much bigger collaboration, the decision on colors, than only the brand team. And if you guys recall, some of you that I've spoke with before, the brand team, when we say that, is really a mighty team of one. That's me. So obviously, I'm not making all of these decisions on my own. We would never even want that. There are a lot more discussions between our leadership team, between our design team, our marketing team, and we're looking at a lot of different elements when we select colors. Obviously, the last color selection was when the brand changed. Gosh, was it like 12 years ago, perhaps? And then we removed the red color that you're speaking of. That happened probably 4 years ago now. The reason that color was removed was because it wasn't creating the contrast with the other colors that we thought would actually put together good designs. And so you won't see that in the brand manuals. You haven't seen that in the brand manuals, I think, since 2020, probably 2020 or 2021. I can't remember exactly when that was removed, but it's not a great answer to your question, I don't think, but there are things that are behind the scenes that go into the thought process of why a color may be introduced or removed. And what we did in lieu of that was bring in options like the gradients and the transparencies to make sure that there were still options for our members to use.
Super. Thank you so much, Jessica. I think I would, definitely thank you for bringing those gradients and transparencies. That is one amazing move that was brought into the brand manual. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thanks a
If I
lot.
could build on that just a little bit too, I think a point that Jessica made was we're always talking about how we look, what our brand is, are we portraying how we want to be portrayed. And so even though the manual is there, there's always discussion with our creative team and with the board. And not that it's evolving constantly, but we are always looking at it and taking it from a fresh point of view. So that's where you're going to sometimes see some changes.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you, Kristin. Thank you, Jessica, for the inputs. I will quickly take the questions from DTM Sushil. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, DTM Abhilash. Well, from pre-Canva area, let me bring you all of you to the current era of AI. Is there any opportunity where we are exploring collaboration with Canva so that we can start introducing? Canva has a ChatGPT extension. So in that ChatGPT extension, is it possible that we type in prompt and create our own posters?
You're talking about in using Canva and creating your own posters?
So combination of Canva and ChatGPT. So ChatGPT has an Canva extension where if you type in a prompt, so it will give a particular posters or series of posters created. So if we could
The AI
incorporate
tool.
personal brand gap manual into it, I think that will be much easier.
What tools you can use to create content. So yes, you can use Canva, you can use any of the extensions. What you want to be aware of, especially in the use of artificial intelligence tools, is that a lot of times it's bringing in information from anything that has been used or typed or created before. And what happens is you sometimes get muddied waters of what is actually being pumped out using those tools. So the most blatant thing I can think of that I've seen recently is that our Toastmasters logo has appeared in some of these AI tools, but that logo has been manipulated. And so it's no longer actually the Toastmasters logo, but something that looks very similar and is not the logo. Now, in our brand manual and in our brand guidelines, we say never manipulate the logo. So if you're creating something with those tools that brings in our word mark, or it brings in the logo and it's changing those elements to something that they're not created to be, then you don't want to use that as your design tool. If it's not doing that and there's other AI elements that you're bringing in, then there's no reason that you couldn't use it. But be very aware of, has the logo or the word mark change when you're using a tool like that? And Kristin, you might have more to add to that. I'm not sure.
I think just to expand on the use of the Canva and the plugin that it has with ChatGPT. So we do have that Canva option. We don't have an official formal kind of endorsed AI tool. They're changing. There's new ones popping up. Some are stronger for specific things. We don't have that, kind of that, use this one, we recommend this. I would say use it as you're instructed, almost by common sense. Use AI as a tool to strengthen your sentence structure, but not to create your content from scratch.
Thank you, Kristin and Jessica, for shedding more lights on this current hot topic of AI. I have one more follow-up questions, which I will ask after Ann Paul's question. Yeah, please go ahead, Vidya.
Hi. So thank you so much for the opportunity to ask a question. So my question is related to some PR materials which are already available and some that I feel might be helping. So for example, we have a very, very beautiful video on pathways. Okay. Now the video says that there are 11 paths, 300 plus competencies, 60 plus projects. However, right now we do not have 11 paths. We actually are reducing the number. Is there a possibility by which the videos can be more up to date? Because when people go and see those videos, they might be thinking we are not getting what we are supposed to get. That's number one. Number two, I've always believed that our members are our biggest PR, and of course the best PR ever is the world champion of public speaking. I think there cannot be any better or greater public relations ad than to have someone become the world champion of public speaking. So is there a possibility, and I know this was there in the past, wherein we highlight the members who have been Toastmasters, who are influencers or celebrities? Like we know that Billie Jean King has been a Toastmaster. And there's so many other people, right? And it was there. There also is a Wikipedia page of Toastmasters and a Wikipedia page of Toastmaster members. Is it possible for Toastmasters International to actually go and check those pages and get it updated? Because there are some names which are there and some names which are not there. I do know because at one point of time, my name was also in that page. Okay. And I do know that these pages exist, but Wikipedia is, of course, not something we can control. Last but not the least, when you have these, there was this PR material about Toastmaster testimonials on pathways. There were these people, these 4 individuals, and there are testimonials by them as to how pathways has helped them. I remember there was a Kaushik, there was someone from there were 4 corporations, Intel was there, etc., etc. So can we have more such corporates talking about the companies that are there? So when you, for example, open the Toastmasters International page, you see there is a PMI, there is this company, that company, but not all Fortune 500 companies are there. If there is a way by which we as members can find out some of the prominent Fortune 500 clubs where Toastmasters exist, or how many such clubs exist, it will greatly benefit. For example, I'm from IBM, and we just opened a Toastmasters club in Philippines as well. We are about to hopefully open another Toastmasters club in Bangalore as a part of as a different district. So that one point of time, there were 22 Toastmasters clubs of IBM in the world. But now as an IBMer, I'll have to actually manually go and search because there is no easy way to find out. A lot of times when we talk about Toastmasters, if you already have a club in a corporate, it might be easier to open another club. So can we have such materials or such information present in a way, in an attractive way, which we can easily use? I love the statistics we have. 300 of all 500 Fortune 500 companies have a Toastmasters club. I love that. The 92 of the top 100 have at least one active Toastmasters club. So those statistics are amazing, but maybe some of that has changed and maybe we can have new one. So not really a question. It's a very long one, but maybe some of your ideas about it. So Jessica and Kristin, if you can take some of these questions.
Kristin, I'll go ahead and begin. I'm going to start backwards on your question about the corporations that are part of Toastmasters. Clearly, we're always wanting to grow our corporate clubs, and we do have that terrific video that you're talking about on our the testimonial video. It's actually more of a legal process for us in what we're allowed to say and which corporations we're allowed to showcase on our webpage or in any of our other marketing materials. The corporations that are currently shown on the website have granted us permission to show their logos, to use their names. And it's a long background process to actually get the permission from those corporations. It's something that we're always doing in the background. Our legal team is contacting corporations and seeking those permissions to add them to the website. But the organizations that you see today are because they've granted us those permissions, and we are not at liberty to add anybody else. For a while, we did in the past, and it came to light that we need to have the permissions from those companies to be able to showcase them on our website. And because of that, we can't roll it out lower. Now, if you're a member of a corporate club and you're advertising your club, then absolutely please use that marketing in the way that we allow it, where you're saying, okay, this is a Toastmasters club, it's sponsored by IBM. But on a bigger scale, unfortunately, we don't have the liberty to be able to do that right now. The videos, wait. I'm going backward. It was a long question, so maybe you can fill us in on some of that earlier.
I'll repeat some of that. So for example, we have a video of pathways, which talks about 11 pathways. But right now, the number of pathways we have is 6. So is there a possibility we can slightly tweak that video, just the audio part to make it more relevant, maybe?
Video editing is actually a really long process for us. We know that there are a lot of materials on the site that still need to be updated to reflect the changes to pathways. And the videos are on the radar, but it's kind of a further out piece of what we can fix right now. It is something we're aware of, and it's something that is on our list to update. It's probably going to be a long process before all of those videos are updated.
Okay.
And to add to that, we're still,
yes.
We're still in that limbo stage, right? Where we have those paths that people are completing if they started them before we rolled that change out. So we're still sort of being sensitive to those folks in that group. And then, but yes, all the resources with the path numbers, they're at some point, they've been identified, and at some point of update, and everything is on that list.
Perfect. And the other question I had in terms of external things that talk about Toastmasters, for example, you have a Wikipedia page of Toastmaster members, or maybe information about the prominent Toastmasters who has made a difference. I know it was there at one point in time, but it's not there now, and you have to really hunt. So if that information could be made available in some way or the other. We talk about how Toastmasters has helped 300,000 people around the world. Maybe taking some examples. Billie Jean King is a name that comes to mind. There's so many others, right? We have scientists, actors, directors, all over. In fact, recently when we had the convention, the Prime Minister and the President for both Toastmasters. 3 years back, we had a Miss Universe who was a Toastmaster. So their names are nowhere. And it's just that you have to know and you have to dig out that information. So if information like that is available for us to use, we can talk more about it. I know some of us have that, but not all of us. So can anything be done regarding that, Kristin and Jessica?
I would say just to address the Wikipedia first. As you know, the content on Wikipedia is reader generated, so we could go in and make some suggestions. It's not what we would say a source of truth almost, because it's easily manipulated by anyone. But certainly something I'll take a look at and see what updates need to be made. And then as far as the list of members, that's kind of a bigger discussion. It goes back to the permissions, right? Where our hands are a little bit tied. Has that person given us permission to say and use their name in the name of promotion? But something worth looking at. And I know we do have like our golden gavels, we have had their permission. And so we were able to promote those names. But it's definitely worth looking at, seeing if there are more well-known names out there that are willing to. It becomes an endorsement on their part because of the way that their stature is in that famous world. But definitely a great idea as far as updating and seeing who is willing to give us that permission.
Thank you so much. I think that's very, very helpful. And I think PR exists in all in terms. I know we are all doing a great job, especially under the able guidance of you both, Jessica and Kristin. And I hope there are more materials for us to use and to reuse so that our efforts can be reduced and we can get greater benefits. So thank you so much. No other questions for me. Back to the organizers, and sorry for these long-winded questions.
Thanks a lot, and for this set of questions, because these are something which we dig out when we talk to veteran Toastmasters. We got to know many information, something new for all the audience over here. Thanks for putting forth such questions. Before I move to Kimisha, I know you have been raising your hand for quite a long time. I will come back to you. Okay, we are, as per the schedule, we have to we plan for 1 hour session and we have 5 minutes left in that. Okay, and we started a bit late. I will take consent from all of you to proceed this session till 10:15 p.m. IST. Are we good? Are you gonna get a thumbs up? Yes. Okay. Thanks a lot. People are showing thumbs up and interest. Yes, please. Yeah, Kimisha, I will please go ahead and ask your question, and then I will continue the questions which I have planned to ask. Yes, quickly.
Hi. Hi, I'm from Canada. So I have a few questions, two about videos. So there's a disclaimer that we need to use for videos. When do we use the disclaimer? When it's just like a big long video or short ones? Like, when do we use that? And do we get access to the Canva Professional, Canva Paid because of you guys? Yeah.
I can answer both of those questions. The video disclaimer should be used really all the time on video. However, we recognize that in the case of like a TikTok video or even a short format video on Instagram, a story, it's not always feasible because that takes up time and it takes up the actual precious real estate that you want to get your message across. On those shorter format videos, what we suggest is adding the disclaimer into the actual profile that you're using for an Instagram or a TikTok account. On a longer video that appears on your website or on YouTube, for instance, then you should create that disclaimer at the beginning of the video, in the first couple of frames of that video, and then switch to the message that is being broadcast. To answer your question about Canva, for a while they do have a nonprofit account, and for a while we were making our best effort to approve these accounts. we had to stop doing that. And the reason why is because the process that Canva and then other third-party tools like this, Google, there's Monday, there's a few different places that offer this type of an account. The process that they use on their end requires a third-party authentication that it's not very workable for our thousands and thousands of clubs. And it can create not only confusion for those third parties, but it can create problems with us. So, for instance, some of those third parties, they give you a limited amount of licenses. So, say they give you one license, and our district, let's say there's a district that goes out and they say, well, they want this account. If we've got the one license and they have it, then it stops everybody else from being able to use it. If it's at a district level where you guys are using the same EIN as World Headquarters uses, then it creates an issue where not even World Headquarters can access that anymore. So because of all of these things that are happening in the background, we actually had to stop approving new account requests for things like Canva. What you can do still is you can create a paid account. And, we realize it's not the optimal option, but it's kind of where we're pigeonholed to just based on the processes of the other organizations.
Okay, thanks. And I have two more questions about the website. I think it's great. Thank you so much for that linking us, the Find a Club linking to.
Oh, I think we lost the sound.
Yeah, so I find that the website, the Find a Club, linking to our clubs is really effective to get us traffic and member and guests and things like that. So I was wondering, for the Find a Club, there is a section where you can insert a Facebook link, and I think it would be great if you could choose what link to insert. So if we want Facebook, we could do that. If we want Instagram, we could do that. And if we wanted to link to a blog that I plan to create in the future to have a separate thing for our website, we could do that. And we can just pick and choose what secondary link we want to refer people to. Like, I think that would be great. I don't know what you guys think about that. And it would be nice to get like a little about section, nothing too long, like 2 lines or 3 lines where we can describe the club. Because right now it's our name, our link, our address, and a map. So something to let them know what we're about to make them decide to click on even more, I think. That would be my 2 suggestions. And I was wondering what you thought about that.
I can jump into that. Thank you for the suggestions. We are always looking at that Find a Club page. It is one of our most visited sites. It is a huge resource for our organization. It is restricted by what we can provide within the content, and that's our IT infrastructure that propels that entire content. And so marketing team actually does not have, we have access to suggestions, but every rollout goes to an IT level because it's a really robust page. If you think of how many clubs are in there, and so there's a lot that goes into it, and then also as far as the about us, that would be great. As far as getting someone down a little bit further to know about one specific club. But when you roll that out on a mass scale, you have to think about every club needing to go in and add that, update it. It also somewhat contradicts if your about us is different than our about us. It kind of creates a little bit of confusion. So what we found is the best path for the user and the best user experience is to find the club that is geographically or time or whatever it is that fits their role, and what they're looking for, and then bump them right over to your page so they can connect and see you, and that page you control. And so in theory, that content is always up to date, and someone is always touching that, and really it kind of creates that great user experience. But we do know there's some limitations of what we can roll out right now. The secondary link would be one of those. It seems like it would be an easy thing, and on a small website it would, but on that robust system that we have behind the 270,000 clubs, the infrastructure just can't handle something like that, just as a simple fix.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimisha, for such wonderful questions, and thank you, Kristin and Jessica, for answering all these prompt questions that comes out. I will now go to the panel member who has been quite a long time haven't spoken. DTM Annish, I will take some more time of yours to answer a few questions which is related to social media. So something what do you consider as a proper or a good social media platform on your experience to bring in attract guests for clubs, either it can be online club or offline club, and you can share your views on this point.
Well, hello everyone. So thank you, Abhilash, for that wonderful question. And well, I feel in terms of the target place where you want to go for is where you find the most people. Well, if I can say for this is 126, where we took a census of the number of members, the time they have spent in the Toastmasters, and around almost 80% of the members are in the range of, let's say, 2 to 3 years, and in the younger generation spot and all. So they are always very much hooked up to Instagram. So for us, it's the more and more engagement during Instagram, we get the viewership per post and members to view that. Not just even for the existing members, and we did some of the open houses around, and we paid promotions around it. The footfall that we saw for the Instagram was much more compared to Facebook, but there are also 1 or 2 regions where the situation was reversed. So again, it completely depends on the geography, when you're doing promotions around the age of the people. Because if you have, let's say, people like me around more than 30 or something, you will find them mostly in the Facebook or some, and for younger generation, you'll find definitely them on the Instagram. And LinkedIn, yes. So if mostly if you feel that your district is having much more corporates around, trust me, you tried in LinkedIn, you will find more connects over there.
Yes,
So,
Annish, for putting that input. Kristin and Jessica, any more like to share on this part? Because I have a follow-up question on the social media platform.
I'll just build in. You're absolutely right. And what you need to do is kind of know what your current members are doing and what their peers are doing. We look at it where we have the capacity to attack or to involve all social media outlets. But Facebook, hands down, has the largest audience. They do. And it's, so if you can only pick one, I would say LinkedIn is for professionals who are looking for development, and Facebook is the biggest, widest net. So if you have to pick one, I would say those two are great sources. But Instagram it's more fun, and more people, like you say, I am on Instagram more than I am on the others. But as far as the experience goes with Instagram and what you can do from linking and link in bio and things like that, the path to conversion is not as seamless as it is in LinkedIn and Facebook. But I think what you said is knowing and asking and seeing where people are at is critical. And then taking that knowledge and running with it. And that's where the key to success is.
Thanks, Kristin. Yeah, Arun, you raise your hand. Go ahead.
Just to add on to that point, it also depends on the content that you want to post. For example, if you want to appreciate somebody, I think LinkedIn is the great place where if you tag them and appreciate them, you see so many other people also joining them and then appreciating them. That feels good for the members as well. And when it's coming to engagement, I think Instagram really works well. You want to have reels and stories and things like that put on your club or division or district. I think it really has very good reach. And when it comes to Facebook, it could be used as a repository to showcase your photographs, whatever you have taken for the district events and things like that. And moreover, there are groups where probably people exchange their ideas and things like that in Facebook. So it depends on what kind of content that you want to post, and if you could channelize that based on the content, I think the response would be even more better.
Thank you, Arun. You almost landed on the direction where I want to divert this question about categorizing the posts and which social media platform to use for what. Yeah, please raise your hand.
Thank you so much. I think Arun had a very good point here. Also, something that has just come up in the chat, talking about LinkedIn. Now, what happens is when you tag an organization like, say, Toastmasters, which has so many followers, and if someone is tagging them, and if there is a very important post which talks about something, and you go to the post, and if Toastmasters International comments on it, then those who are following Toastmasters will also get it in their feed, right? That's on LinkedIn. But I see a lot of times that doesn't happen. I see it happen for others, but not necessarily for Toastmasters. So I have about 30,000 followers on LinkedIn. And recently I received a letter from the board of directors for contribution to Smedley, the Smedley Fund initiative and stuff like that. And I received a sapphire pin. That's the highest you can get. And I wrote about it, and thousands of impressions have already come in. Hundreds of people have commented, but no comment from Toastmasters International as a means. So if something like this is not getting checked, then what is getting checked? So things like that, if there is a way by which there could be some people, I know it's very difficult, but if there could be some people who check out on maybe some important post, or if there is a way by which we can share those LinkedIn posts and, you go and comment on it, like, great job or whatever. So that way, all the followers will also read, and then that post gets amplified and multiplied, and more people will know, okay, something like that is happening. And to take the example of Smedley, we have received 3 emails, right, so far, that, we should contribute to the Smedley Fund and this much percentage is done. So maybe this could again be a way by which you are amplifying the reach by showing that people are contributing and they're getting something in return, whatever little thing that is. So this could be another way as well. So adding on to what Arun has said. So I don't know how it works, but just a suggestion.
So before proceeding further, any comments from Jessica and Kristin on these points? Else we'll quickly move on to the final section of the session.
I think that those are all great points. As far as tagging, I encourage that. I think that that is a great way for individual clubs and districts to take a message that's been crafted by the world headquarters and add to your content. And that way, that day you kind of relief, you don't have to think of something to add. So I think that that's how we interact with each other, and it's social. And so I always say that it's social, be social about it. And so engage as many people as you possibly can. Back to the pyramid, it's great to have the strategy written there, but every member really should be engaged and involved and tasked with sharing and liking and commenting, so that that drop that we do just kind of ripples and you see larger results, bigger scale.
Cool. Thank you, Kristin. I have one quick follow-up question with this social media and other stuff which we have discussing. So we have certain materials available on how to run ads. I have seen like LinkedIn ads. We have a proper documentation how to run an ad and all this stuff. So when this digital space is getting explored more and more, and I would really like to know if TI can help us with a simple documentation about how to run as a district or as a club, how they can run digital marketing by themselves instead of going to a outsider or learning. It becomes a quite complex process when they want to understand bigger things. So now we have this LinkedIn ad document is there. How to run a LinkedIn ad, it is there already in the website. So when such things can be collaborated into one single document which talks about a very simple digital marketing initiative which a club or a district can start. So is it something doable from TI? We can expect this in future as a material, something which you can think of.
So I might break your question down just to clarify it a little bit, but so we have the LinkedIn global ad campaign. Is that what you're referring to? Okay, yes. So global ad campaign is something that our social media team has put together. Kristin, I'm sure a lot of people have heard her name. She is a wizard when it comes to social media, paid advertising campaigns, and just content in general. And so the global ad campaign right now runs once a year. And what it is it allows all the clubs and districts to really use us as their digital ad agency. And so to lean into us to create the content and place the actual advertisement within LinkedIn. And what we have found is tapping into the knowledge that we have within the world headquarters allows you to have a more strategic ad and a campaign overall. And so that's why we've encouraged that, and we offer it every year. As far as if you want to do something on your own that's not a part of the global ad campaign, we're the first ones to say lean into us instead of hiring outside. Don't use don't spend your advertising budget paying an advertising agency. Lean into us and talk to us about strategies, and she will talk social media all day long. So will I. And so if there's something specific, tap into us, lean into us, and say, what can you do to help us with that ad placement? If you have the luxury of having that budget, I would say use it the best you possibly can. And I love advertising agencies. I've worked with several. I love the creativity, but you tend to spend a third to a half of your budget just paying for that agency, and so that takes away what you can actually spend on your reach. So if you tap into us and use what we have and the brand and all of those good things that comes with that, we already know it. We already have that down. So if I think the question was, is that a possibility as far as if someone wants to go into outside of the global ad campaign, but do something around, renewal season or something in the summer, lean into us and reach out and we can help.
Sure, Kristin, I'll take that as the answer. So you mean when we are developing something like this, it's better to reach out to you to understand how it can be taken further. Yeah.
Cool. Yes. Yeah.
So we have 1 more minute as per the extension. I will ask the final question, and because that is something which I want to ask related to AI. There are certain images we saw in even the updated pathway programs. There are certain AI generated images is getting used. And Jessica already touched upon AI generated images with respect to logo. It is not it is almost like tampering the logo. So again, how good we can, or any particular prompt you guys can suggest or add to the brand manual or any other document, so that we can use the same prompt in a ChatGPT or any other tool to generate a proper images that can be used for PR. Is it possible, Jessica? Over to you.
Right now, we're navigating the landscape of AI in real time with all of you. And so there's a lot more discussions happening in the background on how can we best leverage this in a way that creates an impact for all of our districts and our clubs that are trying to gain members, but also protects the organization as a whole. Those conversations are ongoing right now, and there aren't answers yet as far as whether we can add a prompt to a document like the brand manual. But if it turns out that we conclude that there are prompts that would be beneficial, at that point, then we would introduce that. But as it stands right now, yeah, I don't have anything yet that we can offer.
I'm so glad the discussions are happening, and I'm hoping to see such prompts adding to the brand manuals in future. That is going to be, our AI is going to be the future. Hence, I want to put for this question. And we are past almost 2 minutes as after 10:15 p.m. and the questions are never ending. The chats are going on. But in the interest of time, can we have one final question? I can see Natalie has been raising her hand for quite a long time. I don't want to disappoint her after joining in this session. With that, we will wind up. Hope it is good. Yeah. Thank you. Over to you, Natalie. Yeah.
Thanks a lot for allowing me to speak. So I am the first VP PR for a new club that has started in Kalangut, Goa. And so we are currently in the process of designing our certificates and trophies that we'd be handing out for the meetings. One idea that one of our members had was first it was to um, edit the original logo with a few things about Goa, but then I told them that this was not possible. So they just asked me if it's possible to create a new logo, a second one, that could go along with the Toastmasters logo just for our certificates and trophies and things.
Yes, I'll answer that, Natalie. Club logos are not permitted. And the reason that we can't allow any club logos is because think about how many clubs there are in our organization. We have somewhere around 14,000. What happens is that if each club has that individual logo, it gets away from what Toastmasters is and it creates 14,000 little organizations. And I'm ballparking the number right now, but we end up with all of these little entities rather than Toastmasters being the recognized organization that when a person sees that trophy or sees your club content can come back to and know, oh, I know what Toastmasters is. I know what they offer to me and what I can gain from them. And that's the reason that we stay away from that and only allow one logo that's overarching for everything else. Now, as far as creating the trophies and things, we do offer trophies through Toastmasters, and we have a preferred vendor in a lot of your districts where now you no longer have the issue for a while was that the cost in shipping was prohibited and the time that it took to get to a lot of different districts was prohibitive in getting those items to you. So for things like trophies, really your first step should be ordering through the Toastmasters channels. There are occasions where districts and clubs want to create their own products still. And there are situations where we allow that. There's a lot of situations where we allow that, but it's important that in those situations you are requesting, you're using a trademark use request to be able to use that product and use our logos and trademarks on those products. If you go to our brand portal, we have a link to our trademark use request, and I work very closely with our trademarks team, which is also a mighty team of one, not me, another individual, but we work closely together to make sure that we are reviewing those items and either giving the feedback on how to change something or what is available to you to be able to order something or to be able to create something. But you shouldn't go and just distribute any item on your own ever without being approved by World Headquarters.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For that question. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Kristin. Thank you, Arun, and thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Annish, for your time and extending your time as even after the committed time. That too, it is close to 10:30 p.m. in India, and you are going to start your day in US. It's a wonderful collaboration. I feel really good to being part of this session. I have shared a feedback link in the chat section. I really request everyone who is present in this session to share your feedback for this session that we have conducted as a part of PR Nights. I can say only the huge thanks to the PR team and the brand team of Toastmasters International for taking your time and being here answering all the questions. But believe me, still there are like 10-15 questions with me which I really want to ask. But questions are never ending, these discussions are never ending, and definitely we will try to host such sessions in future also for the benefit of all. And any other final feedback from anyone quickly before I stop this recording and wind up the session? Anyone can quickly unmute and share your feedback about this session.
Thanks, Abhilash, for organizing this. I mean, Ayush as well. So I know it's not very easy to have 4 DPRMs or 5 DPRMs coming in one single place. So taking time, following up diligently, I think great job done to both the districts who hosted this. And thank you, Jessica and Kristin. Your inputs today was very valuable, and I appreciate that as well. Thank you for all the members who've been part of this amazing session. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun, for that wonderful feedback. And again, thanks again to Jessica and Kristin for patiently answering all the questions. There were many impromptu questions also, but you took it really well, and you answered everything to the dot, and no questions was unanswered or left alone. It is really, I feel very contented, after all this happenings. We have a series of sessions in this entire month of February. Every night on a week, we took some time. Me and Ayush have planned something for PR we have to do, and we have conducted this is the 4th session of that series, and that was wonderful to host you both. I will hand it over to Ayush for closing remarks, and we'll stop the recording. Over to you, Ayush.
Thank you, Abhilash, and I hope everybody had a very good time with our, special guest, that is Jessica and Kristin. And I show my heartfelt gratitude to both of you that you have made sure to take out time from your busy schedule and make sure that you guide our members to the brim and to the best. So thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful time with us. And with this, I also like to acknowledge the questions actually were asked by our members were superb. Some of them, especially what was asked by DTM Ayan Pal. And I too believe that the Toastmasters fraternity needs to update few information on YouTube, and also that members are updated. And when we pitch, we just not use PR, to create a brand visibility, but we use those materials to pitch to our new guest who will convert it into a member. So when they see a video where it shows 11 pathways and suddenly we say, no, we have 6, 7, then, it creates a contradiction. They don't build that trust on us. So I think that information needs to be updated. Thank you, Ayan Pal, for raising that question. That was a very good question. And with this, I think we are good to go. Abhilash, do we have something more on the plate for today?
We are having a lot on plate. It is a never-ending thing. I can tell you, a lot of things will be keep on coming because people are curious to know a lot when it comes to brand and PR. It never stops. But we all have to move on with other responsibilities, and especially for us to sleep. With that note, I will again thank you, Kristin and Jessica, for taking your time. It's been a huge help for all the participants, and this recording it will be shared via YouTube of District 125 and 124 channels to all the people who have attended, and it will be open for everyone. And people who keep on asking for the recordings, yeah, this is the answer. With this, thank you, everyone. Have a good day ahead. Good night, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Annish. Thank you, Arun.
Thank you so much.